It's your boy Al with the Heavy Hitter Bully Crew, and I'm back with another lit video for you guys. And obviously, as you can tell, the scenery, little something different for you guys. And in this video, we're gonna be covering my top 4 exercises that I utilize with Ghost to help build his muscle and to really help enhance his look. Now, with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel. Become a part of the family, and let's get into the video, baby. All right, everybody. So my number 1 important exercise that I utilize with Ghost. Hold on, let me take a sip first. So the number 1 will be utilizing the flirt pole. Now, why did I utilize the flirt pole? The flirt pole was big in building those rear muscles. Let's say, for example, you're bringing them to the golf course and you're utilizing the sand dune. Shout out to my man Chris on the Champ Geo vlog. If you don't know him, follow him on YouTube and on Instagram. His boy Sincere. And when you bring them out to the sand dunes, right, or if you bring it out to the sand pit in general, when you're utilizing the flirt pole, right, it's forcing them to really utilize those back rear muscles to really help push off to chase after that. And not only are you utilizing this to build their rear muscles, you're testing their prey drive. And when they really want it, they're gonna work really hard to get it. So as most of you know when a bully's stacked up and you see that nice thick set of legs on them, and you see that back muscles where they're popping out and they look so good, the flirt pole is big and really enhancing that look and really bringing those out. So with that being said, let's get into the second exercise. All right, everybody, so my number 2 most important exercise that I utilized with Ghost to help build him up was sprinting. If you see my videos, a lot of them utilize Ghost running and just showing you clips of him getting his work in. And why is that so important? So when they are sprinting, first off, not only are you getting the energy out, but it's that short burst really impacting those short twitchy muscles, which is allowing them to really maximize what they could gain in a shorter period of time, right? You're trying to operate in the most efficient way possible, right? Not in the most time-consuming way. So the flirt pole and sprinting are the best way to utilize this, because when you are tossing the ball as far as you could go, now whether it's in my backyard or if it's in an open field and I just chuck it as far as I can, I want him to just run. Not only do I want him to just run, I want him to get that feeling of being in the open and just being a dog, right? I want him to run, really build those rear muscles, really help build that chest, him using his full speed to really get to where he wants to get to, right? And that helps build the rear, that helps build the shoulders area. And, you know, it takes a little bit of time, but it's so effective in really getting the look that I got with Ghost. So that wraps up the second exercise that I utilized with Ghost. Let's get into the third one. The third exercise that I really utilized with Ghost is the tug of war. Most of you already know that I love engaging with Ghost, and I love really acting in that tug of war with him, because not only does it build his confidence, right, but it's allowing him to have an outlet to have fun and really utilize the aggression that we're bringing out of him, right? Now remember this, it's called controlled aggression, which means that if you are training your dog, you're training your dog to really know when to tap into that aggression and when to turn it down, right? And when you're training protection work, for example, this is when it's big. They have to understand when it's time to watch, when it's time to really bite and commit to that bite and hold it. And the minute you give the out command, they let go and they're bounced and they go right back to the handler, right? So when we're utilizing the tug of war, I really want Ghost to engage me. First, not only do I want him to hold, but I want him to tug and really tug, because they're utilizing those neck muscles. And when you get them to really start pushing off and really start engaging, and they really want it, and that's the drive you're looking for, right? This is not only helping build that neck muscles, but it's helping build those shoulder areas, right in the upper back area, and it's really utilizing the legs to utilizing their whole body to pull you, right? Because I'm over 200 pounds, right? And when I'm pushing against Ghost, I'm pulling him, and I want him to really pull me, because if he's pulling me, that means he's really engaging those muscles, right? So with that being said, that wraps up exercise number 3. Let's get into number 4. All right, everybody, so the 4th exercise that I utilized with Ghost to really help enhance his look was walking. you're supposed to walk your dog. Well, there's a percentage of people that prefer not to walk their dogs, just let them go outside, right? So for me, though you're not going to see the immediate rewards of it, if you remain consistent, not only do you get your exercise in, right, especially if you're taking them for a little bit of a distance walk, but they get their work in. It really helps build those shoulders and those leg muscles in time. Now for me, it's just natural because I don't want my dog to always take a shit in my backyard. I like to get him for at least a mile to a mile and a half daily. This is part of our daily routine, right? If you've seen our previous video from last year when I showed you a day in the life of Ghost, I showed you all of the things that we do. So I walk him for at least a half mile to over 0.75 in the morning, and then when I get home at nighttime after he eats dinner, I walk him on the same distance. So usually it sits anywhere between a mile to a mile and a half, but imagine that he's doing that daily along with his sprints, and it depends on the day, to be honest with you. That day might be flirt pole work, that day might be sprint work, that day might be tug of war, or it just might be protection work and having him run from across the yard to go get a bite on the other side. So it all depends on what we're doing, but imagine doing that along with his walking, and you see how this adds up, right, for him to progressively grow his muscle because he's doing this daily. And that's the biggest thing. When you perform this daily with them, this becomes second nature to them. It's not like really exercising them, they're just doing what they're doing, and you really help building those muscles at the same time. So with that being said, let's get into the end of the video. Now this is going to be an honorable mention. I really couldn't put this in because I don't have the setup, the spring pole. And this actually should have been number one because that is the one thing you can utilize that could really help build the neck, the body, the legs, especially if they're committing to the bite and they're up above the ground. This is really utilizing that neck to really help get that energy out, to really get them to latch onto that bite and commit to the bite, which also builds those muscles around. Unfortunately, where I live, I don't have the tools to be able to build that. When I was in my old home where I used to live, I had a setup where I had Ghost utilizing that when he was a puppy, and it really helped bring out that muscle in him. And I couldn't really utilize that in this video because I'd be lying to you. So if I had one of those setups in my house, I would tell you that would for sure be number one. And why would that be number one? For all of the reasons that I mentioned before. So with that being said, that wraps up my honorable mention. I really wish I could have put this in my top 4 and this would have been number 1, but unfortunately, because I didn't have the tools to be able to build one and to really enhance it in my backyard, I couldn't mention it in my top 4. So with that being said, now we're gonna end the video. All right, everybody, so before we wrap it up, let me take another sip. Nice and strong. Shababbas. So just remember, I'm giving you the exercises that I utilize with Ghost, and I believe that he needs more substance. He needs more mass on him, right? Now just imagine if you're one of those owners that has a smaller dog and it's just a lankier dog naturally. That's what the foundation is. Just remember, it doesn't matter how much you feed the dog, it doesn't matter what supplements you use or the weight gainer you give them or how much you work them out. They're never gonna get that big, bulky mass look that the traditional American Bully standard has. Why is that? It's because a lot of that is based on genetics. You have to have the genetics behind them. Now, when you have a dog that has 2 beasts for parents, you know what I mean? 2 dogs that are jacked up, you are getting a certified gorilla, a certified monster, a mass producing monster. And when you have that, you already know what the genetics are gonna be. So when you have a dog that comes from that strong of a genetic pool, you understand what they're gonna be in the future, right? So when you know you have that, now you utilize these exercises to really enhance their look, to help them tap into their potential. That's what you're trying to do. See, some people will feed you a lie and just say, oh, you're supposed to do this and it's gonna help your dog just grow and become this big, massive monster. No, that's not how this works. I'm gonna be the one to be honest with you guys. I know Ghost needs more substance, right? But he looks fantastic and looks phenomenal. But I know what I have with him. Can I get some weight on him? Yeah. But can he be, for example, like Samson? No, because that's not what's in his genetics to get him to be. So that wraps up the video. I hope that each and every single one of you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel. Check off the bell notification icon and become part of the family. And with that being said, that wraps up the video, and we'll catch you on the next one. But hold up, let me finish.
Speedy, baby.